Hello, this is Brenda Perryman. And I'd like to ask you, have you ever had a dream and you started waking up from the dream and tried to bring the dream back? I know I have. And I wrote this poem about that called Night Moves. I dreamed about you last night. You nibbled at my neck and I began to stir. Don't want to wake up. Your warm breath in my ear startled me. Unexpected passion, I don't want to wake up. Your arms lock me to you. Temperature rises and I hear a distant car. I'm waking up. I bring your lips to my lips. Taste me. Don't forget my lips. I wake up, warm, sweating, and dissatisfied. I tighten my lids to try to bring back the night, the silence. Tears break through my clenched eyes as I mourn the loss. Each night my dreams create the night we never had, the night we deserve, the night we need. So tonight, go to sleep, my baby, and please dream a little dream of me. Okay, I was born in Kingstree, South Carolina. Basically, I'm a native Detroiter because I grew up over near Dexter and the Boulevard, West Grand Boulevard, and I was born in 1948. We lived in a duplex, and we felt pretty safe, and it was a interracial neighborhood at the time. My mother was a licensed practical nurse, and my father worked at Ford Motor Company. I think about my mom and dad, they felt so secure. There was a furniture store named Charles Furniture that was up on Grand River near the boulevard, and my mother would send me up there to pay bills at 5 years old. I always had a key to the house. I'd take the bus and then I'd walk down here, and right next to the Maccabees was the Detroit Conservatory of Music, and I took piano lessons there. Mind you, I said I would get on the bus. I was like 8, 9 years old, and I'd go back with my music book. They raised me to be pretty independent and navigate pretty well. Anyway, I went to Mars School till 3rd grade and then transferred to St. Teresa's, which was right on Pingree area. And I graduated from St. Teresa High School in 1966. At the Catholic school, which I enjoyed it, but when there was a little play, we just got little roles. I remember telling Sister John Damien, a nun, I said, I'm going to Eastern Michigan University, and she said, oh, you won't make it a year. You have to understand, I ended up graduating from college with a degree in speech and dramatic arts. I taught 22 years at Southfield High, and I taught for 39 years, and I never told a student they won't make it. And that made my heart sink, but I didn't give up. And the next time she saw me, she said, oh, so how are you doing? Did you ever make it through college? I said, well, I have my master's right now, and and I mean, you have to do those things. Take advantage. If you're offered an opportunity, take advantage of those opportunities, because if it's a good opportunity, it allows you to stretch. It allows you to grow.
Hello, everyone. It's Mrs. Perryman, teacher. Promise tonight, and I'm so excited. I heard that April's coming with that ugly John. I wonder how this will work out. Oh, I heard that Robert's coming. Welcome to the prom. I'm so excited. I wonder who's going to be king of the prom. Certainly not Deion Ross. Oh. Are you talking to me, Foxhead? Yes, I am talking. Yes, I shall. You want to get away from him, don't you? That's your good.
To them.
Okay, you have a close-up?
Yeah.
Now bring it back to show the entire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You got the big legs. Want to see me do the James Brown? I used to do the James Brown in college. That's when James Brown was popular.
Ah, you're getting
I
recorded.
can show you something, Penzie. You didn't. Joking. Coming towards me from against the wall. And the demeanor creates a hush. It's hall, dance hall. Under that
I've directed 100 plays or more, not just in school, but I got an opportunity to direct 2 shows in New York. I've done shows outside of school. But then it was Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, when I was introduced to her poetry, because I had read in my high school, I'd never heard of Langston Hughes, I'd never heard of Maya Angelou, nobody. And once I read her poetry, I was just enthralled. She was a different voice, she was speaking to me, and how life works. I was asked to open up for Maya Angelou at Orchestra Hall and to write a poem just for her, which I did. And I mean, that tells you about God, doesn't it? Doesn't that tell you about God? When you can meet the people who inspire you to move on and to go on. But then they said, Dr. Angelou wants to meet you. I walked in. I mean, I think about it now. I walked in and I said, "Hi, Dr. Angelou, I'm Brenda." And she looked at me, she said, "Oh, such a pretty girl." That's the way she talks, you know, that voice and everything. And she just started talking. Everything. Just a wonderful woman. And she taught me a lot. Somebody else saw me, and I was on the Total You tour with Sister Soldier and Donna Richardson, and here my students got to see my pictures in all these magazines, including the Oprah magazine, Heart and Soul, Vibe, all these magazines, and it was just unbelievable. And if you have an idea, though, believe in yourself and try it. I'll never forget this. My first book, my friends in Highland Park helped me put a little book together and stuff. So I sent them my book, and they wrote me back, "Sorry, you know." At first I felt kind of hurt because I said, I've been going around doing this poetry and people like it. And then I said, just keep doing it, keep believing. And within that year, my first year, I spoke at Notre Dame University. No, but that's God. That ain't nobody but God. See, we are put here to do more than just one thing. We are put here to do, I mean, don't be afraid. Sometimes you say, golly, I didn't know I could do that. Well, God's telling you. He's calling your name. He's telling you you could do that. You got to know. Try everything. And then you'll land somewhere. Well, I tried everything, and I've landed at some places, but you know, God speaks to us through people that we see all the time. They're encouraging to us and so forth. And when I retired, my son, he gave a speech. I'll never forget, one of the things he said, yeah, my mom was, I guess, a pretty popular teacher, but we go out to Northland and all these young people be saying, "Miss Perryman, we love you, we love you." And I used to say, how could they like her? She treated me like this. But then he said, and my son played basketball at Oak Park High and then at University of Dayton, and he led the country in rebounding. And he said, you know, I was pretty good at rebounding, and it was because I watched my mom rebound from so many situations. And you can make history, and history doesn't mean you have to be in a newspaper or in a magazine. You can set a legacy, and they say a legacy is money. No, legacy could be the wisdom that you imparted to your children. Our children watch us. That's the one thing you got to know. They watch us. They take their cues from us. Even when you don't think they're watching, they watch you, you know, and that was very important. So legacy, I always think about, how do I want my grandchildren to remember me? When they think of grandma and tell their children about their great-grandma, what are they going to say? So I think that's something that all of us need to take into account, and probably have. I'm sure you have. But you know, we all make history in some kind of way. We all do. And lastly, I want to leave you with my signature poem. My poem, Primetime, is about getting older, because my first book, my picture was on the first book, and this younger woman said, gosh, she's older. I was only 42. So I couldn't sleep. I tossed and I turned, I tossed and I turned, and then I came up with this. It should bother her that I have the benefit of these over 40 years. I've learned to overcome a lot and have tackled her unseen fears. I'm glad God's allowed me to grow up this special way, because knowing what really counts in life has helped me savor each day. At the age of 30, ignorance made me imagine I was grown. But you can't even fathom how many seeds I hadn't sown. I'm a better lover than I was in those days of old. Being in my prime has shown me that my body's just as good as gold. Intellectually, I think deeper and see far beyond the trees. I have the power, though I don't use it, to drop nations down to their knees. I was never this very wise, not even a single decade ago, because I had to live and go through changes. So now I could say, I know. So all young people should be in awe of the things running through my mind, because everybody ain't able, and I've gotten better with time.